same thing. So we have a number of these, at least 8 or 9, which all look the same and have the same essential qualities. What's unusual, another thing that's unusual about this case is when we did the scientific study of what we have here, we find it's sort of an embodiment of all the other 14 cases. If you've been following my research as it's been going, if you go way, way back to the first and second cases, and we had laboratory data coming from Los Alamos National Laboratories and from New Mexico Tech. If you remember, they didn't know what these samples were. This was a blind study, and they came back with a conclusion that these are a meteorite-like samples. And as you know, people don't step on meteorites or whack them with their hand, otherwise they'd have a very big hole, and probably not much material would be embedded in it. Once the x-rays are taken, then we know that there's an object there. We use a CAT scan, and the CAT scan will give us the approximation of where the object lies, and we're able to then do the surgery more specifically. I told you it was about 3 to 5 millimeters. It's radio dense. That means that it appears in an x-ray about the thickness of a pencil lead. Second toe again. Estimated date of insertion was February the 28th of 2008. And how do we know that? Well, the individual remembers waking up in the morning, and he saw a couple of drops of blood on the bed sheets, and he looked down at the toe, and there was a couple of small puncture wounds which healed within a very short time. As with the other cases, again, there was no scar and no portal of entry available. Also, if you recall, before we take anything out, we like to find out as much information as possible as to what's going on. And as we're able to do that and get better and better equipment, we're able to get much more knowledge. And as you recall, one of the cases we did was emanating a radio frequency, which was verified by a friend of mine in Las Vegas, let's put it that way, who sent me a classified FCC sheet, and we found out that that frequency was broadcasting on a deep space radio frequency. Now, if that don't knock your socks off, I don't know what does. We have emissions coming from this last case too. We use a Gauss meter to detect the electromagnetic activity, and we found that we had a magnetic field of greater than 10 milligauss. Ionizing radiation, we were only able to detect the normal background radiation using a Geiger counter. And the radio emissions, again, we're at 14.749650 megahertz. I don't know yet. I haven't had enough time to find out exactly where on the band or where that is going, but we're finding out. We had emissions of RF and ELF and the microwave bands. Also, you may have been told, but we're offering everyone